Welcome students to another session in the series Digital Marketing. In today's session, we shall be talking about mobile marketing. The session plan is as follows. We would try to understand as to what is actually mobile marketing, what are its advantages, various forms in which mobile marketing can be undertaken, some of the characteristics and common mistakes that are usually made by the firms. Now students, we have seen that in the recent years mobile technology has evolved a lot. From the use of the basic phones, we find that now a lot of people are using smartphones, feature phones, tablets and even phablets. The use of mobile is on the rise is also evident if we look at the recent data from the Indian markets, where around 1.12 billion active cellular mobile connections are in place, which represents a huge proportion of population. More than 76% of the Indian population is having a healthy mobile penetration. With this promising statistics, one can see that not only mobile but also the internet user base is growing steadily. With more and more people that have now access to smartphones and smart devices, we can see a huge possibility whereby the firms can connect with the customers one-on-one by making use of marketing activities on the mobile devices. Not only it has become very easy for the individuals to access the internet and have a device of their own, but also the market situation and the infrastructure development that has been taking place in the country in last recent years open the way for the firms to use this as one of the very promising and popular tools of digital marketing. In fact, if we look at the data, we find that the India's internet user base has grown exponentially and has now exceeded around 900 millions in the year of early 2025. With this, let us see how mobile marketing is working and how this can be used as a very effective platform by the marketeers. So students, mobile marketing is nothing but the platform where the marketing is involving the use of all the mobile devices. Now when we talk about mobile devices, we are not only restricting ourselves to a normal mobile phone, but we are also including the smartphones, the tablets and certain wearable technologies like smartwatches and smart jewelry. Provided that consumers with more options and more control are now going to use these kind of devices, we need to understand how the consumers are changing their buying behavior and how also the firms can connect with such kind of consumers who are using actively the mobile devices in order to undertake their shopping and the other buying activities. When we look at some of the promising features of mobile marketing, we find that this is something which is advantageous to the firms to adopt because of its lower cost and higher efficiency. Obviously, because all consumers, or we can say a dominant section of the society, comprises of the consumers who have one kind of a mobile device or the other. Even if it is a basic phone, there are some kind of marketing activities and the promotional activities that can be undertaken using even the basic phone like the SMS. So it is not only very advantageous for the firms to use the mobile technologies and mobile marketing activities because the per unit cost of transacting with an individual comes out to be very, very affordable or economical. Also, because of the phenomenal reach that mobile marketing is going to provide to the firms, because you know that through one message and through one mobile technology, you can connect with millions and millions of users. In some of the cases, one can also use mobile marketing to connect with the consumers in a very personalized manner. So, even if you have to send a email which will be opened by a person on the mobile, or if to send a very personalized SMS message, that is something which can be very easily done using the mobile technologies. So, it is a targeted communication, and it is not an informal communication that you are making use of through your traditional marketing efforts like your TVC commercials. Now, the firms are also having access to lot of data which can be used and which can be mined and which can be analyzed further by the use and by the consumption of the firms, so that they can decide what kind of mobile marketing activities and what exact tools in case of mobile marketing they should be using to leverage their efforts. There is always a versatility of communication in the sense that you can use the language in which you can feel that there is a best effective communication that a firm can have with its target group of consumers. So, there are so many languages that are being spoken and they are being used in India, and therefore, a mix of those languages and a mix of various communication tools, audio, video, pictures, graphics, links can be made use of by undertaking the activities using mobile as a platform, using any certain mobile device as a platform. So, all in all, when you make use of these kind of technologies which are highly personalized and which give you an ability to change and mold your communication according to the target audience that you are dealing with, obviously the audience is also going to get better engagement from all the activities which are being pursued by the firm. If you look at some of the key features or some of the key advantages of mobile marketing, one can look at the aspects such as not only staying connected 24/7, there is no particular boundary, physical or otherwise, which stops the firms from connecting with the consumers at a given time. So, you can send a message, you can send an email, you can share a video, you can do lot of things, and you can always stay connected with your user base at any point in time. Not only this gives a control on the purchasing and the purchase behavior, because now you are giving more options to the consumers. Students, when we talk about mobile marketing, we are also referring to a situation nowadays where the companies are exceedingly making use of omni-channel kind of a network. So, you have a seamless integration of all the channels, and a seamless integration of channels along with very focused, channel focused targeted communication makes mobile marketing as one of the popular platforms which are being used. So, if a consumer wants to have a look at something on a company's website but wants to use a mobile application to order and to purchase, that is also seamlessly possible, and therefore you are having more control on how the consumer is likely to behave and how he is going to exercise his purchase behavior and buy certain things, even using the mobile devices which are always available and are accessible both by the end of the digital marketer to communicate with the consumers, but also obviously in the hands of the person or the consumer who would be using these devices to transact or to buy certain goods and services over the net. Not only this provides an enhanced experience for the consumer, a seamless integrated experience, but also there is a freedom to access information at all the times. All this eventually helps the consumers to undertake a effective and informed decision making. So, he can search for so many things using mobile and using the mobile devices with internet connectivity, and that informed decision making would ultimately result into better satisfaction, because now he would have exercised his purchase decision after going through all the information which he can make use of and which is available for him to access over the net using the mobile device. Now, when we talk about mobile marketing, some of the forms, as I said earlier, it is not restricted to only the marketing exercises or the activities which can be undertaken only with smart devices, but also with very basic phones and with feature phones, certain kind of mobile marketing activities, especially in the form of text or voice messages or display ads or video that can be embedded in a mail or in a message, all this thing is possible. So, when we talk about basic phone and people who are having access to basic phones, you can still use a lot of mobile marketing activities by sending automated voice calls. You can also make use of some interactive voice response IVR. You can make use of missed calls and toll free numbers in order to connect with your customers. Some of these things can also be extended to those consumer base where they have an access to a feature phone. With smartphones, there is a greater opportunity for the firms to connect with the target group by making use of certain applications, mobile applications which are specifically designed and which are installed and which can be installed by the consumers on their smartphones, by making use of interactive and social media, and also email which can be accessed on smart devices. So, there is a host number of opportunities which are possible for the marketeers even with a basic phone, and obviously these would be available with a smart device. Now, when we talk about mobile marketing features, we know that what is something in addition that the firms are getting nowadays. So, not only all these features which we have just now discussed are available with mobile devices, even though the device can be very basic, ranging from a basic to a smart device, but also the smart device enables the marketeers to have a better control and focus on the group of consumers that they would like to interact with through their programs by undertaking certain activities on the mobile which would enable the firms to take advantage of location based services. So, you can share your location, and then probably if a consumer is looking for something, mobile can be used as one of a very effective ways to suggest certain options or searches which can pop up on your mobile phone based on where the consumer is located at that point in time. There can be QR codes which can be accessed, and a host domain of augmented reality which can be made use of in order to provide a seamless integrated experience and an immersive experience to the user even when he is using a mobile device. Let us also look at some of the common mistakes that companies or the firms make while they are making use of mobile devices. One, a common mistake is that the firms usually try to tweak or change the normal campaign or a desktop campaign for its use in the mobile. But they need to understand that the devices are very different. Not only the devices are different, probably the campaign which is heavily embedded with some audio and video text will not find its utility when it is opened up on a basic mobile. So, it is just a normal adjustment to your campaign which will not suffice in that case, and probably a different kind of a mobile application has to be prepared and has to be formulated in order to give that kind of a satisfaction to the user while he is accessing a lot of information using his mobile phone. Similarly, we find that firms usually rely on the historical customer relationship management data without understanding that the data also needs to be updated on a regular basis. So, there is no harm in using the repository and using a complete database system that you would be having access to at your disposal in the firm, but the firm should also ensure that the data is regularly updated. All the new mobile numbers and the new mobile connections should be added in the database, and those that are not working and those that have been unsubscribed or are a part of do not call registry should be removed from that particular database, so that you are not wasting your effort, so that you are not just making a futile exercise of connecting with people using the mobile database when that particular number or that particular connection is no longer in use. So, in order to avoid a wasteful resource spend, it is always better to keep on updating the CRM data and to regularly connect with those consumers with whom you are maintaining an active relationship. Students, here I would like to reiterate that when we talk about digital marketing strategies, one has to keep in mind that unlike what we do in case of traditional marketing, our digital marketing strategies are very much focused, and therefore it is the focus and the reach along with the cost efficiency and effectiveness that they can be very advantageously be supplemented with the traditional marketing activities. So, when you are dealing with a focused database, it is also beneficial to connect with the consumers using the digital marketing platforms, so that you will be ultimately having a better conversion rate, because you are dealing with the consumers with whom you are having relationship, who are profitable for the marketer, and also those who are showing an increased propensity to shop at that particular time. Another mistake that digital firms usually make is that they treat mobile in isolation. They think that this is something which is independent of the other platforms which are used by the firm. Why this is a mistake? Because we strongly believe in the concept of integrated marketing communication and also integrated marketing action. When we talk about integration, it is better to understand that there should be a consistent message that should flow across all the platforms that a firm is using. So, irrespective of whether the firm is using a website to communicate or a social media site or Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or any other platform, one should be ensure as a firm that the message should be consistent across. And this is the synergy that you derive by your marketing activities, which are being channelized using different platforms, but at the same time are seamlessly integrated in terms of what they are saying and how they are saying and how they are trying to connect. So, maybe the mode of connect is changing, the medium of connecting with the consumer is changing, but the message remains unified and the message remains consistent. When all this thing happens, the brand also they emerge as having a consistent image, because they are talking about a consistent message across the platforms that they are using. So, it is a integrated marketing communication which is happening. So, if you think that mobile is independent and it is not dependent and it is not required for the firm to equally pay attention to what is happening across the other platforms and across the other channels, then in that case it becomes difficult to have that unified message or to ensure that there is a consistency of message. And if that is not paid attention to, there is a strong possibility that either your brand positioning will go for a toss, or it will leave consumers with some sort of a confusion and would create a chaos in terms of creating a clear-cut perception and a clear-cut image of the brand in their minds. So, this has to be seamlessly integrated with the other platforms which are available and which would be tapped by the marketers to the best of their advantage. Now, in this session, students, we have understood very clearly as to what is mobile marketing and how, with the increase in the use, popularity and penetration of internet, mobile as a device is used. In addition, in the subsequent session, we would also look at how the social media can be used in a big way by the marketeers to have a better connect and how the digital marketing platforms using social media platforms can be used by the marketer. Thank you. We will come back shortly with more content.